Hey my Spilling the Sweet Tea fam, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm spilling the tea on the Copycat version of Bojangles cinnamon biscuits. The first thing you want to do is make your cinnamon filling. For the biscuits, you're going to need half a cup of brown sugar. To that half a cup of brown sugar, add 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Then you want to add 2 tablespoons of flour, and then give everything a really good whisk until it's fully combined. Once that mixture is fully combined, you want to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Give it a good mix and your filling should look a little bit like this. Just set it aside for now. Now let's work on your biscuits. You know I got my mama's biscuit bowl anytime I'm making biscuits, and of course I'm using Miss Lena's buttermilk biscuit mix, which is a woman-owned food brand produced by me, Spilling the Sweet Tea. Head to my website, spillingthesweettea.com, to get you some. All you want to do is add the biscuit mix directly into your biscuit bowl. Now you want to add half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and 2 teaspoons of powdered sugar. Now you want to give everything a good mix, your biscuit mix, your cinnamon, and your powdered sugar, until it's well combined. If you've never been to Bojangles and never had their cinnamon biscuit or their bowberry biscuit, you are in for a treat. This recipe is spot on to their version. The next thing you want to do is add a stick of butter. I always freeze mine for a little bit so my butter is really cold, and then I grate my butter into my flour mixture. If you don't have a grater, you can just cube your butter and then use a fork to blend it in, but grating it honestly is much easier. The next thing you want to do is just get a fork and combine your cold grated butter into your flour mixture. You want to make sure that the flour and the butter is well incorporated, so take your time on this part. Just make sure you mix all of that butter and the flour mixture well together. Once everything is well combined, the next thing you want to do is create a well in the middle of your mixture. Anytime my mother made biscuits, she always created a well in the middle of her bowl, just like this, because that's exactly where your buttermilk is going to go. Now on this particular day, I did not have any buttermilk, but I did have whole milk, and I added 1 tablespoon of white vinegar to that whole milk. If you add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar to whole milk, you will then get buttermilk. Just need to stir it well and let it sit for a few minutes. Now that you have your buttermilk in your well, you just want to combine the milk with the flour and butter. The technique that works for me is pulling that flour and butter mixture into the buttermilk. Just like that, pull it in directly into the well. Once you have everything well combined, you should have a dough ball that looks very similar to this. Now you want to add some flour to a surface so you can get ready to roll out your cinnamon biscuits. Once you have your surface flour, you just want to add your dough ball, and then also you want to flour your rolling pin. Everything needs to be coated in flour. Very important. Now all you want to do is roll out your biscuits just like this. Roll them out until they are about ½ an inch thick. Once you've rolled them out, you just want to fold the dough once, twice, and 3 times the charm so you can create nice layers in your biscuits. Now just roll it out again until you get to your desired thickness. I always do about ½ an inch thick. Roll it out, roll it out, roll it out, put it in a pan. No, just roll it out, and then once you roll it out, you want to get your biscuit cutters. Or you can use a glass if you don't have biscuit cutters. But look how pretty this dough turned out. Oh my gosh, the cinnamon and the flakes of butter, beautiful. Now just grab your biscuit cutters and cut out individual biscuits. I wanted my biscuits to resemble the size of the Bojangles ones, so my biscuits are a little bit bigger. So I got about 9 biscuits from this actual recipe. Typically, my biscuit mix makes 10 biscuits, but they're normally, a bit smaller. Your biscuits should look just like this. You just want to repeat that process so you can cut out the remaining biscuits. Once I rolled this dough out, I was able to get 3 biscuits from this dough, and then I did it one more time, and I was able to get 2 more. Once you have all of your biscuits onto your baking tray, you just want to use a teaspoon and make an indentation in the middle of the biscuit for the cinnamon filling. Now add your cinnamon filling into the middle of your biscuit just like this and pat it down just a little bit. These cinnamon biscuits were so good and reminded me of the ones that I get at Bojangles. The last step for baking any biscuits is to brush the tops of the biscuits with buttermilk. When you brush the tops of the biscuits with buttermilk, you get a browner biscuit. My mom, when she used to make biscuits, she loved a brown biscuit. She didn't really like light-skinned biscuits, so she always would brush with buttermilk so she got her biscuits nice and brown. So I'm not adding buttermilk to my cinnamon filling, just to the outside of each biscuit. Now let's make the vanilla glaze that goes on top. You're gonna need 3/4 cups of powdered sugar and then about 2 to 3 tablespoons of just whole milk. Once you add your milk, you just wanna give it a good whisk. And once you whisk it really, really well, you should get a glaze that looks a little bit like this. Once your biscuits have baked on 425 for about 12 minutes and come out looking golden brown and delicious, all you want to do is just add that glaze right on top. I've only had the cinnamon biscuits at Bojangles. I've never made them before until now, and I gotta tell you, they came out amazing. While the biscuits are still warm, you just want to add that vanilla glaze right on top. I'm gonna tell you, if you've never been to Bojangles and had their cinnamon biscuit or their bowberry biscuit or any of their food, you have to go. It is so good. It's one of my favorite places to eat when I go home to North Carolina. The cinnamon biscuits turned out amazing. If you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you do so. Like and comment and let me know if you want to give these cinnamon biscuits from Bojangles a try. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the biscuit mix can be found on my website, www.spillingthesweettea.com. If you like this video, make sure to comment and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. You just got the tea on how to make my version of Bojangles cinnamon biscuits. Thanks for watching, y'all. See you next time.